Long ago, there lived a mischievous boy named George Banet. One day his mother sent him to the market to buy needles. After buying them, he clutched them tightly in his fist. On his way back, he saw a bird caught in a trap near a pile of dry grass. "Oh, what a beautiful bird! I must catch it," he thought. To free his hands, he stuck the needles into the pile of grass. After catching the bird, he returned to retrieve the needles but couldn't find them all. Frustrated, George thought, "Mother will scold me and maybe even beat me. Let me burn the grass and search for the needles in the ashes." He set the grass on fire, but of course the needles were destroyed. With nothing left to do, he returned home empty-handed. When he told his mother, she scolded him. "You fool! Why would you stick needles in a pile of grass? Couldn't you have held them in your shirt sleeve? Now go sharpen this hoe instead." Happy to escape punishment, George went to get the hoe sharpened. After it was sharpened, he carried it home by piercing the sleeve of his shirt with the blade, tearing it apart. Seeing this, his mother exclaimed, "You simpleton! Why ruin your shirt? Couldn't you carry it on your shoulder? Now go fetch the pig grazing in the nearby field." Off George went to fetch the pig. Remembering his mother's anger, he thought it best to carry it on his shoulder. The pig bit his ear. When his mother saw him, she screamed, "You fool! Look at your ear! Couldn't you lead the pig by pulling it behind you? Now go borrow a cooking pot from Veronica." George ran to Veronica's house, borrowed a pot, and tied a rope to it, dragging it along the ground. The pot clanged and scraped all the way home. At the gate, his mother saw him and cried, "George, you are beyond hope! Why drag the pot? Couldn't you carry it in your hands? Forget it. Just help me prepare the meat. Watch the pot and add a little water if it starts drying out." His mother left, and George was left alone. He tended the fire, adding a bit of water occasionally. Feeling thirsty, he opened a keg of wine kept nearby. But when he heard a strange noise, he rushed to check, forgetting to close the keg. By the time he returned, the wine had spilled everywhere. Panicking, George thought, "Mother will kill me." He grabbed a sack of flour and dumped it into the spilled wine to hide the mess. A chicken wandered in and began pecking at the flour. Angry, George shouted, "Shut up, you noisy bird! Don't you dare tell Mother." Then he grabbed a knife and killed it. Realizing he'd killed the chicken, he worried, "Now who will sit on its eggs? I'll do it myself." He climbed onto the nest and sat on the eggs. When his mother returned, she called out, "George, where are you?" "I'm here sitting on the eggs because I killed the chicken," he replied. "You killed the chicken? Why?" "It was going to tell you about the spilled flour," George confessed. "What flour?" "The one I dumped into the spilled wine," he said. "You spilled the wine?" "All of it." "Oh, George, what will we do now? We've lost everything. We're doomed." Heartbroken, his mother walked outside, hands on her head, crying. George followed her, unsure of what to do next. The night fell, and his mother finally said, "Let's go, Georgie. Lock the door before you come." Georgie pulled the door off its hinges and carried it on his head, following his mother. When she turned and saw him, she exclaimed, "What on earth are you doing, you fool? You told me to lock the door. I meant for you to simply close it, not carry it with you." "Well, I misunderstood. What should I do now?" His mother sighed. "You're a disaster, a truly hopeless one." They continued walking, and after a while they heard voices of people ahead. His mother, frightened, whispered, "We are in danger. Let's climb this tree. Those might be thieves." Georgie climbed with his mother, but after some time he whispered to her, "Mom, I have to pee. I can't hold it any longer." "Hold it in, you fool, or they'll find us." "I can't hold it. My bladder will burst." Finally, unable to hold it, Georgie relieved himself, and the urine landed in a pot the thieves were using to count their stolen money. Hearing the splashes, the thieves thought it was raining. They looked up and said, "Oh, it's just a few raindrops. No problem. Let's continue counting." A little later, Georgie complained again. "Mom, this door on my head is too heavy. My arms are going numb." "Keep holding it, fool, or they'll kill us." Suddenly, Georgie dropped the door with a loud thud, sending the thieves into a panic. They shouted, "We're under attack! Run for your lives!" They fled, leaving their money behind. Georgie and his mother climbed down, collected the money, loaded it onto the door, and happily returned home.